Hello and welcome to today's YouTube video. Today is the third and final game of the tournament that I played on Monday, which was 3 days ago. And I had white in this game, which is quite nice, and I'm playing against Shiroma, which is an old friend of mine in the chess world. He's quite a young guy, and he's quite good. Yeah, I played the Jobava London, and coincidentally enough, before the tournament, I studied this exact line. It's a very common line, even though it's not objectively the best. And you just take, play e3, and then reinforce the e5 square immediately with your knight. Now after castles, you just bring your bishop to e2 to stop any weird complications with a fork on e4. And then my opponent actually decided to go knight e7, and his idea is very clear with knight to g6. I don't think it's a good idea because it's kind of just a waste of time. What is the knight doing on g6 rather than it was doing on c6? And also my bishop will actually control that knight better on g6 than if it was on c6. But I decided to go h3 here and tuck my bishop into h2. Again, this knight is absolutely terrible now. It can't really do anything, so I think it was definitely a mistake to go knight e7 and knight to g6. So he plays rook to e8, trying to push the e5 pawn, but surprisingly enough, you don't really even care about the push, and you kind of just ignore it, because it's not actually doing anything. Like if he takes, he has doubled isolated pawns, and if I take, I just correct his structure. And if he pushes, again, these pawns are very weak, and my bishop becomes quite strong, actually. So yeah, I play queen b3, putting pressure on all the pawns, and here I'm still I think I'm still in theory, maybe not the exact moves. Like this knight at g6 idea was just a waste of time, so I just played very typical moves that I saw in this line that I studied. So yeah, he defends pawns, and this is defended. So he defends both these pawns, and I play rook to c1. I know a4 is an idea, but I didn't really see a point behind it at the moment because he hasn't played a6 or even b6 to make any weaknesses on the queen side, so I didn't see a point to doing that yet. And I just go for a very quick c4 and recapture with my bishop, since that's the only really logical move. If I recapture with this, I get skewered, and if I recapture with the queen, then he takes my queen. So the only logical capture is the bishop. And I actually make quite a big mistake here with bishop to d5 because I thought he wanted to play d5. And also c4 wasn't even a great idea because I corrected his pawn structure, exactly what I didn't really want to do. So it's definitely a mistake, and I just need to play a more closed position, improve my position more, and play like a closed position. Yeah, I made a mistake here with bishop to d5. And he takes, and I saw bishop to e6. And I was deciding between queen a5, which is obviously better, and queen to e4. But I saw some tactics with queen to e4, but I forgot again that my opponent can just play d5. And my queen is literally forced to go back to b1, which is quite sad, but it's not that terrible. Yeah, I make an inaccuracy here. It's not the worst thing in the world, but queen a5 is definitely better. My queen has more space. I'm hitting a pawn, and I'm defending the pawn as well. Yeah, my opponent finds d5, and I play queen back to b1, only move, and my opponent plays e4, which I actually didn't think was that good. Computer thinks it's best, but I think it opens up my bishop too much, because I can just move my knight, and I don't have to move it into the center. Like, why would I move it into the center when I can just move it over here and maybe plant it on c5, a nice kind of outpost, not quite an outpost yet. But yeah, my opponent plays at bishop d7 because my light squares on this diagonal are quite weak, which is a good idea. It's actually quite a good idea, and I play at knight to b3. Not really worrying about it too much right now. So yeah, I trade and play a rook to c1. To me, this is the only logical continuation for white. If I move my rook, then he can just take, and kind of waste a tempo for me. This is fine. Rook f8 doesn't make any sense to me. So yeah, I play queen c2. I completely missed rook c7. This blind spot is just so common, unfortunately. Like I'm always just looking at this square and this square, but for some reason I blinked on the c7 square being covered. Except for here. I knew that the c7 square was covered here. Yeah, basically the computer just thirsting for this queen rook c7 idea. Yeah, he plays bishop to c6, and I play queen to a5. Just hitting this pawn, and he defends it with rook to a8. It's not a very committal move. I mean, his rook's very passive, and he's not pushing a pawn, which is actually quite good. So yeah, I play queen back to c3, opening up the a5 square for my knight, hitting this quite strong bishop actually. It doesn't look strong right now since it's kind of just a big pawn, but once it's on this diagonal and gets into my position, it is kind of strong. So my opponent plays f5, trying to get more space for his knight. Notice that his knight is kind of just trash, and it's been trashed the entire game, which is why I still think that it's a mistake. So yeah, I play knight to a5, hitting the bishop, and he defends it with rook to c8. Now I play queen to b3 to get out of the x-ray, and also to hit the b7 pawn. It's not hanging yet, but it has two defenders and two attackers right now. So yeah, my opponent unpins this pin with the queen to f7, which is an alright move. I mean, it's nothing spectacular. He's running low on time. He's slow in the middle game, but he's very fast when he gets low on time, and he's very tricky. So yeah, I take, and I plant my rook on c5, kind of just cementing this pawn in place. He can't really touch my pieces right now, and again, his knight's kind of trash. So yeah, he plays f4, and I play queen to a4. I didn't think I wanted to give up my bishop for this terrible knight, so I didn't. I don't know why it's saying bishop takes f4 is best. Maybe I win a pawn somehow. Takes. What if takes? Do I have like some weird sacrifice here? Rook takes c6. Ah, I see. I do. That's kind of cool. I didn't see that, of course, but yeah. So I played queen to a4, putting pressure on the c6 pawn, and he takes, and I take back, and he plays a queen to b7, trying to hit a pawn, and I play queen back c2, putting pressure on this pawn, and he plays a queen to b7. He's kind of just making moves here, since we're both low on time, and this position is not exactly clear what to do, honestly. So yeah, I play a3, going for b4, and he's trying to get his knight back into the position, which is quite a good idea. So he plays queen to e6, trying to get his queen over maybe to one of these squares. He could have played queen to f5 immediately, which I thought was probably better. And I play queen back to c1, trying to bring my queen over somewhere over here. But that didn't work out. I didn't continue with it at all. I don't know exactly why. Because queen to e1 and queen to g3 was actually quite good in my opinion. And he plays rook to f8, and I plant my queen on c5. This is not a good move. This is actually a pretty bad move. I'm running away from the defense of my king, and you'll notice very fast. Very fast. By the way, I did see bishop f4 here, but yeah, my calculation here was so bad, it's insane. We were both very low on time, and he always beats me in time trouble. Like, something about his style, he always gets me, and I don't know why, because I always get better positions against him. Like, I literally, like, almost always get better positions against him. I'm more prepared. Usually, my positional play is better, and I play faster in the middle game. But once he gets low on time, I don't know what happens. It's like something flips. Like, it's insane. I saw bishop f4. I saw this move, best move by far. I'm like, okay, knight g6, I don't really care. I can even just play queen to d6, and I'm completely fine. But me being the absolute bozo that I am, I'm like, ooh, look, a pin. It's pinned. It's a free piece. There's a forced mate here. I didn't miss this. I saw this. I missed rook f2. It's so simple. It's so simple. I have no defense. I can't take the knight right now because then it's just mate in one. Queen takes d5 check is the top move, which is depressing. But I play queen g3 or king g3. It's the only logical human move that makes any sense to not get checkmated immediately, even though it does lead to checkmate. So yeah, he takes with the queen, and after knight to f5, I resign. The reason why I resign is after king h5, he has checkmate. And he has like a million different checkmates, by the way. Like he has pawn checkmate, which is kind of depressing as well. But yeah, I don't know what happens. I had a very clear advantage in the opening. I mean, it wasn't even close. Before c4, my position is so good, and he has nothing. He has no plan. Like, what is he going to do? He has no plan at all. I can do, like, literally whatever I want. Just keep improving my position, play a4, keep the position kind of closed. What is he going to do? He's not going to do anything. I just got too thirsty to open up the position and, like, make play easier. But it actually made play easier for my opponent, undoubled his pawns, and just not great by me. I still had an advantage throughout the middle game, and like I was even at an advantage towards the end up until I blundered mate. But yeah, accuracy, I had an accuracy of 82.3, and my opponent had an accuracy of 86.3, which honestly I think is backwards. I played great the entire game and had one blunder of mate at the end. Like, literally, I have one blunder. I missed rook c7 a couple times. Big deal. I still had a better position. Whatever. And estimated ratings, I had an estimated rating of 1900 and my opponent had an estimated rating of 2050. Both respectable. Obviously, I prefer to do better. I prefer like 2000 plus, but it is what it is, and you can't always play how you want. Yeah, thanks for watching today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you in tomorrow's video.